it's Tanisha.
Welcome to another episode of She Laughs. We missed y'all. Hope you enjoyed the last episode with our First Lady, Miss Lady EJ.
Yes.
It was good, y'all. It was good. I learned a lot. Stuff that I knew, stuff I know I need to step up on. So just go back and look at that episode about when not to tithe.
Yeah.
As if there is such a thing. But I'm going to let T announce the topic for tonight.
The topic for tonight is something that we're definitely going to talk about it again. It's very in-depth, and you guys know our tidbits are normally not as long, so this is something we're going to have to go back to and cover again because there are so many subtopics within this one topic. So the topic for today is spiritual warfare.
Yes.
A lot of people really don't understand what that means when you say it. We know what spirits are in a sense. We know what war is. And it's basically just understanding that the battles that we face every day are not physical. Mm-hmm. They are spiritual. There were things that were set in motion that we didn't know, that were used to try to detour us, to hinder us. And we often forget a lot of times that we are hated by the devil. And he wants to try to use every opportunity to keep us from getting the things that God is literally trying to hand to us. So you are dealing with spirits because he sends legions after you. It sounds scary. It sounds like a lot. And that's why I think a lot of times, even as Christians, we don't want to talk about it because it's scary, but it's fact. And just because you don't want to talk about it or you don't want to recognize it doesn't mean it's any less fact. Mm-hmm. It doesn't keep it from happening. It just keeps you in the dark, and it keeps you in a place where you can't position yourself to really win because you have the ability to fight and you have the ability to win. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot, but it's something that I feel in this day and age needs to be talked about.
Yes. And here's the thing. So I'm going to replace a word that Tanisha just used because she used hated. And I feel like society today, we have made the word hated or haters so mundane to where
we make it very small. Yeah,
to where
right.
We think of that, so and when you hear hate, you see your dislike.
We need a stronger word for this.
Loathe. He loathes. He has a rage.
Yes.
Each time he sees you succeeding and praising, there's a rage that goes on with the enemy. He's out to kill you. Mm-hmm. Ain't no other way to put it. Point blank, period. He's out to kill you, to destroy your life, your family. He wants to tear it all down. And he sends assassins. I'm not even going to call them legions. He sends, well, you know what? Yes, legions of assassins just for you and your family.
Yes.
And he's doing this to everyone here on the planet.
On a daily basis.
Daily basis. That doesn't even touch on the amount of hatred he has towards you. That's just like a glimpse. So the battle really is real. And yes, it can be scary. I think the interesting part for me is once I got over the fear factor of it, of, oh my goodness, there's somebody coming out here that's trying to attack me that I cannot see. Once I got over all of that, knowing that I'm under attack and then knowing tactics and unveiling the spirit.
Yes.
Gives me more power to engage in the war. I don't feel helpless. Like I'm this helpless thing because we were not created to be helpless. I mean, in the Bible, he literally talks about the armor that God has given you to fight in spiritual warfare. So a lot of people want to be like, oh my goodness, these people are just making this up.
No, the spiritual realm is real. You cannot act like the scared 2-year-old and cover your head with a blanket.
And hide.
And
with
hide.
Your flashlight.
I'm sorry. It is real. It is there. Whether you believe it or not, it is there.
And I mean, you can keep coming up under attacks if you want to. But as for me and my household, I plan on covering it.
Yes.
And so the best way to cover it is to know your enemy, know their tactics, and then know what weapons you have in your arsenal. And then strengthen those weapons. So lately, because I've been excited, I've never been excited to learn about spiritual warfare until recently.
Yes.
A couple of things have happened to kind of bring that on to where it has been made even more real. Like everyone, if you're a believer and you're in the Christian faith, you probably have seen, I've been under attack. Whether it's, finances under attack,
yes, people, they
life.
can be under attack. It's not just as simple as I'm broke.
I didn't plan properly.
Yes.
And stuff. When you see instance after instance after instance after instance happening, that ain't just coincidence sometimes. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, if you got bad spending habits, don't be trying to blame it on the enemy. You did that yourself.
Yes.
Okay? But when you're a good steward and you know that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing and stuff still ain't coming into play,
that absolutely is an attack on their finances.
Okay? Just gonna say. But I think our recent examples, I'm gonna let T tell one and then I'm gonna tell one. Recently we were at one of our apostles' prophetic services. And if anybody know about the spiritual realm, you have spirits, you have witches, demons, whatever you want to call them. And there was a witch in the midst. Now, myself, I'm not able to pick up so quickly because I'm not strong in the spirit of discernment like Tanisha is, which we've talked about that in episodes prior. So if you feel like you have the gift of discernment, you definitely want to start reading up on that and strengthening that muscle. Because that is there not only for you but for others.
Yes. Yeah.
So we need you. That is your gifting, and that is, how can I put it, a tool in your arsenal, okay, to fight this battle. But what I am is powerful in intercessory prayer and praying. Once I'm made aware of situations, then I start interceding and asking God to come and fight this battle for me. So we had a witch in the midst. An apostle even knew that it was. And lo and behold, it wasn't until later that our other sister, who also has a strong spirit of discernment, was able to point out. She was like, did y'all know where it was? And we was like, no. Where was it? She was like, she was sitting right in front of me. And the way she was able to tell is once you're tapping into your gifting, you can feel and see who's supposed to be there, who's not. You can see the enemy attack because he ain't, as much as we like to say he's hidden, he ain't.
No, he's not. He doesn't hide at all, really. He doesn't hide because, again, a lot of people don't believe that he's there. So there's no need to hide. If you don't believe that I am who I am, why do I need to put on a mask? I can just show up. Mm-hmm. And you would have no clue. Mm-hmm. A lot of times he hides even in our day-to-day mess-ups. If you make a mistake and you don't learn from it, it's gonna happen again.
Yep.
And if you don't learn from it, it's gonna happen again. So it'll get to the point where he doesn't even really have to do much because you refuse to get yourself out of the cycle that you've been going through. Mm-hmm. He don't even really have to put much effort. Mm-hmm. So he is now to the point where he no longer really has to hide.
No. And I want to say a good example of it. Well, I'll let T talk about the encounter she had at work recently, and then I'll expand more on that because it was so funny. We have been talking about this for the last couple of weeks with the crystals.
Yeah.
And then I walk into a shop of crystals and speak to the owner and get even more clear understanding.
So
he ain't hiding
I'm
at
gonna
all.
put a disclaimer a little bit. If you get offended by what we speak on, I'm going to ask you to pray about that offense and really seek God about that offense and make sure you aren't taking that out of context.
Yes.
I know there are a lot of people who like crystals and such. There are some that use them all the time. There are some that use them sometimes. There are some that feel that they're not using them when they really are. That's a whole nother topic about idolatry that we'll get into.
There's some that think they're just art.
Yes, there's some that think they're art because they're pretty, and which they are. You're looking at the colors and you're focused on them. I get that. But you really have to be careful as to what you're doing. So my story is at work. I always pray before I walk into the building. I try to do that anywhere I go. That's just me trying to exercise my gifting of discernment so that I'm aware at all times of what's going on, even at the drop of a hat, even at something simple as, I know I'm getting off point a little bit, but a coworker, I could sense something was wrong with him, and he was acting like his normal self, but there were moments in his quietness that I just felt that there's something going on. So I asked him, kind of jokingly, if he wanted a hug, if he was okay. And he was like, yeah, I'm fine. But I could tell something's going on. So I just started praying for him, just to myself, but just praying. But I could sense something was wrong. So it's just a normal day. I'm praying before I get into work. And I walk in the building and I feel it's just a spirit of heaviness there. So it's not a normal, it has never been a spirit of heaviness that I've ever encountered. It wasn't anxiousness. It wasn't one shift is ready to go home while another shift is coming in. It wasn't tiredness. I couldn't describe what it was, but I knew it was heavy and I knew it was not of God because I could feel an unease. So I immediately started praying, asking God, what is this? As I'm praying, what is this? What is this? I was not in fear. I didn't feel scared at all. I wasn't concerned. I just wanted to know what it was so that I could attack it at the root and get out of there so I could go on with my day. But again, I'm still praying, talking to co-workers, going on about the normal business of the day. And then I overheard one of them mention how she forgot her crystals at home and has been bothering her all day. And instantly, it was like an arrow illuminated over her head and pointed directly at her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, you brought that spirit in here. Mm-hmm. So I just continued to pray. And the entire time we were working together, she was thrown off, discombobulated, looked nervous, anxious. So part of me wanted to take it as her shift is ending, she's ready to go home. But something kept nagging, saying, no, that is not it. Then I'm like, okay, well, her little crystals aren't here. And I kept hearing, no, that's not it. And it wasn't until I spoke to my apostle about it, and he revealed it was you. You were throwing her off. Mm-hmm. And I noticed I do that every time we bump into each other. She avoids me like the plague. Mm-hmm. The look she gives me sometimes is if something's wrong with me. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's more of a she can't figure out why she feels the way she feels
when she's around you.
When she's around me. So she doesn't know. But anyway, she left, and that spirit left with her, and the rest of the shift was fine. So that evening, I'm still talking to God, asking him what I need. I really want to know what that was, because I never encountered that. Like I said, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't in fear. I didn't feel under attack. There have been times where I've encountered clients who I'm ministering to them, and then whatever is attacking them has immediately started attacking me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that either. I was like, God, what is this? It's nagging me at this point because I really want to know what it is. And the only word I kept hearing was, she's conjuring something. Now, those that know me know I'm a word person. Mm-hmm. I believe that words mean things, so you don't just throw out a word. And that is a big word. Yes. So I'm like, okay, God, this, did you really mean conjure? Or did she? And he said, no, I mean conjure. And then he showed me because she's so accustomed to those crystals giving her the energy or power that she senses from them, she doesn't realize that she was creating spells in her mind to get that energy, to try to create it for herself. And I know a lot of you are like, well, what does that mean? It literally means she tapped into something she had no business tapping into, and does not understand what she did. Mm-hmm. It's different from reciting a affirmation. Yes. That was not what she was doing. She literally was conjuring up a feeling. Yep. She was a spell is really what she was casting, and she had no idea that's what she was doing. At all whatsoever. And she has no idea that she has now started to worship these crystals. And she has no idea that she tapped into a realm she doesn't know, which is why she looks at me confused, because she doesn't know why she has the resistance towards me that she does when there's really no reason to have it. She tapped into something she does not understand and know. Someone will try to hear this and try to break it down to make it more logical, to make you feel better about yourself.
Let's go there. That's a tactic of the enemy.
That is absolutely a tactic of energy that you want to say, well, Tanisha, it probably isn't like that. No, it is. Because I even prayed and said, God, that sounds so big. Mm-hmm. And he said, that is what she's doing, and she doesn't know. And my confirmation to that was after sharing this story with my church, not even a full week, I want to say 3 days later, I saw an ad on Instagram. Mm-hmm. How it got on my Instagram feed, I do not know. Excuse me. And it was advertising for this water bottle that allows you to place different types of crystals on the inside of the water bottle, like a diffuser. Yep. And for you to drink. And I took a picture of this thing, and the picture is not in my phone anymore, of the wording and how it was worded. And it constantly pops up on my Instagram randomly as an ad. They want you to ingest it now. It's not enough to wear it. It's not enough to have it underneath your pillow and sleep with it. Now you all are ingesting this energy. And to you, energy sounds flighty. What you do not know is it is a spirit. And if you are leaning on the spirit of this crystal, you are no longer leaning on the spirit of God to guide you, to give you energy for the day, to give you your strength. He is to be your everything. Yep. And now you have replaced him with pretty cute crystals.
Objects. Inanimate objects.
That is idolatry, people.
And it's so funny because when Tanisha was telling me this, literally, I would say not even 2 weeks went by. And I'm visiting with one of my brothers coming out of town, and he does wear crystals. Now, I understood what Tanisha was saying when she was telling me about her instance at work. But I've never actually delved into crystals or really asked more about it. And I'm one of those people where I'm like, let me research to get understanding before I make a certain opinion to be sure. Okay? Even though I also have a level of discernment. Her level of discernment is completely different than mine because she's up there. And so he took me to the crystal shop that he goes to. And I walk in and I'm like, okay, get understanding. Purposely ask questions to see where this goes. So first I asked the lady to explain to me about crystals, the candles, all of that. Like really break it down to me. And I kid you not, she was saying, well, whatever item you want to work on at that time, or whatever your eye draws, those are the things that you probably need to work on right then in your life. So you want to go for those crystals, but first you want to start with the candles so you know your colors. I said, but then how do you use it? How do you use it? Mm-hmm. Like, do I just light it? What am I doing with it? Mm-hmm. And she said, no, you'll light it. Some people sleep with it under their pillows. Some people wear it in their necklace. But when you feel like you're missing out on the energy that you need for whatever thing you wanted, whether it's money, protection, whatever you think it is, what you will want to say is, I call on the spirit of. Y'all, the moment she said that, I said, see, y'all, see, you got to ask the questions. Yes. Because once again, he hides in plain sight. Okay, and I said, you call on the spirit of. She's like, yeah, I call on the spirit of. A lot of times we don't know what we're calling to us.
No.
Okay, we do not know. It could be whatever showing up. Okay, it's nothing to play with in the spirit realm. So I'm like, so you're calling on this spirit to come in and give me the energy that I need. And in my head, I'm like, but you could just be calling on Jesus to come in and perform everything that he said he would. So why do I need a bunch of different crystals to give me all varieties of things when I know one source that provides all of this? I could just go to one person and get everything, instead of going to everything to get a little bit from here and a little bit from there and a little bit from here.
Your daily bread.
Exactly. And so then she said, but I can't explain it. Well, I'm going to let you talk to our master, whatever he is and stuff. And I was like, okay. So he was in a conversation and I said, I'll wait. And he was so excited when she was like, I have this young lady over here. She wants to talk to you. He was like, oh, okay, I'll be done in a minute. It's like, all right. So I purposely waited because I wanted to have a conversation. Y'all, I kid you not. I could tell how he interacted with me. That even though I genuinely wanted to ask the questions, he did not like whatever spirit was on me. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as I got over there, and I'm a customer, y'all, as soon as I get over there to talk to him, he did not want to look me in my eye. He literally spent less than 2 minutes with me. He said, you can go to my YouTube, learn your colors. Here's the book. There you go. Whereas I had just seen him with the 2 clients before me having a 15-minute conversation about these crystals and what they do. And he said, you'll want to come to our June 2nd event. That's when we're going to have the psychics and the tarot reading cards, which is also, y'all, idolatry.
Yes, it is.
That spirit realm world. That's witchcraft. I'm just going to go ahead and call it what it is. It's witchcraft. And I don't understand why so many people want to go and run to a tarot card reading or run to a psychic when you literally have prophets that are in your midst, and you will know a prophet by his word. Because if his word comes to pass, God gives you ways to know a true prophet. But y'all will not go to a clear man of God to tell you and get understanding.
What he says lines up with the word.
Thank you.
It lines up with the word. It's not just fluff, because there are those who practice witchcraft who have the ability to prophesy to you, but the things that they're told and revealed are revealed from the enemy.
Yes. And you mistake it for, they must really know me. No, baby, they don't. They know you. They know you because they want to destroy you. Because, see, I don't like that the enemy knows more information about me than I do.
Yes.
That's what I don't like.
And it's been like that for a while, because the minute we hear this, we get nervous, we get scared, and we go, "Ooh, no, it's okay. I don't want to talk about it. Cover my head with the blankets,
so I don't have to deal with it.
You don't have to deal with it. They dealing with you.
And here's the thing. He wants you like that. He wants you in a frozen, childlike manner to say, let me close my eyes because I don't want to see it. Because the moment he can keep you that's the way he can keep you out of your purpose, out of your destiny, out of everything God has for you, out of everyone that you are supposed to touch with your own light. Because there are some people that are waiting for you to get up your strength to fight the battle, to touch them. But if he can keep you complacent and in this I don't want to and scared mode,
yes,
then he knows I don't have to worry about that foot soldier. That's one less soldier I got to worry about. Now let me go get these other ones. So that's what he's doing. And I remember leaving out of there laughing, and I text Tanisha and I said, you will not believe the conversation I just had. And this is literally 2 weeks after we just talked about this crystals incident. Here I am in a crystal shop. You are actually the owner of the shop. This is your business. And you don't even want to have a conversation with me, sir? You don't even want to have a conversation with me. You don't know if I was about to buy everything in here. But yes, you did, because your spirit my spirit,
they didn't like each other. And I guarantee you, to him, in his mind, you gave off bad energy.
Yes.
You gave off bad energy.
Yes.
That's the words that they use, because, they use the word energy kind of flighty.
But all that is idol worship. That is what they did in the olden days. Instead of you kneeling at an altar now, or kneeling before a wooden figurehead, what they do now is, these are crystals. And if you look back in older days, all they would do was kneel before, I'm going to go pray to the god of Aphrodite because I want love in my life.
Yes.
I'm going to pray to the god of war because I want protection and such. Or I'm going to go pray to the god. Those are spirits. Those are energy. That's what you're still doing even today. And what's happening is society has gotten so caught up. Oh, my energy is just off. My aura is just off. My chakras is off. Da-da-da-da is off.
Yes.
Yeah, you discombobulated. You got so many people in you, you don't know who you are.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, you do. You do.
That's why it's all off.
You do.
You got about 10 legions in you, and they all fighting for
control
today.
And dominance.
Yes.
Over you.
Oh, okay. Today is going to be this. Oh, okay. This is Stop. It is literally insane. It is insanity that you are doing to yourselves. And that's why I'm praying, like, the spiritual warfare, the enemy fights dirty. He will make it seem like it is so logical. They're just crystals. They're logical. They're harmless. They're not going to do anything to me. Let's just do this. That's all. And that's not what that is.
That's not what that is. Not at all.
That's not. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here. Jesus. The devil wants to hide behind natural reasoning and human wisdom. That's what he wants to do. Okay? So, we're not saying don't, seek counseling if you have an issue or things are going wrong. We're not saying don't apply logic to it.
We're not saying don't apply logic at all. Logic is not demonic, okay?
But if you feel yourself constantly having to be like, well, no, that just don't make sense. That just don't make sense. That just don't make sense. There's got to be a logical reasoning. There's got to be a logical reasoning. And trying to
make yourself feel better about it. That's usually what that is. Mm-hmm. Well, no, I think it's, again, you're trying to make yourself feel good about it. Mm-hmm. If it makes you happy, you good. Mm-hmm. Instead of taking it to God and letting him reveal whatever he reveals to you and being satiated by that.
And I don't understand why so many Christians want to put a logical spin on it instead of just admitting, God, thank you for showing and revealing something to me.
Yes.
Like, that's impossible. Especially Christians. I could see if you just don't know. and you're a baby and you're learning, and for the first time you're like, okay, that don't make any sense, because you're leaning onto your own understanding and you don't have that background. But Christians, let me tell y'all something, okay? I'm coming for y'all, okay? If you done grew up in the Word, and you know the Word, and you say, yes, I believe the Lord, and all you doing is like, well, I gotta be logical about this now, and don't leave no room for him to come in, come on. Like, cut the mat. That's crazy talk. Either you believe or you don't. I'm just gonna call it what it is. Either you believe or you don't. Because not everything is logical. And if you are a Christian in this world, you know there's a battle. Especially today, there is not that many churches that don't even teach that there isn't a battle. They'll admit that there's one. Now, do they teach in depth about how to fight it? No. But they will tell you there's a spiritual warfare going on. They will. Okay? They just ain't good at teaching how to fight the battle. That's what I need more from our leaders in the church today. Teach us how to actually fight. Equip us for the battle. Okay? Equip us to really understand what prayer is. Because everybody thinks prayer is going and giving God my list and here you make it happen. And you need to understand it's a two-way conversation. If you're going to be praying, yeah, go ahead and talk, but be prepared to listen more than you talk.
And that's usually our problem. We do not give the time for God to speak to us.
No,
we don't. Because we want to snap our fingers and go, okay, respond. Mm-hmm. And if we ain't heard nothing in 5 minutes, we go with what we want to do anyway. Here's the thing. He probably didn't say anything to you because he knows you want to make your own decision anyway.
Mm-hmm. Either that or because he's already giving you the answer. And
he's already giving you the answer and you ain't like it. So either way.
Checkmate. Boom. I said it.
I mean, especially if he's already told you what he wants you to do.
Yes.
He's already told you what he wants you to do.
It's kind of like,
you clearly don't want to do it, and I'm not going to repeat myself.
And here's the thing. God is very direct when he gives instruction. He's very specific.
Very specific. He does not cause confusion.
He don't give multiple answers.
This is not a multiple choice situation. Do you have free will to choose?
Yes.
Yes. But if you are to follow him, you are to follow him. The roadmap is already planned out for what he wants you to do. You ask, he directs. Mm-hmm. Now, if you deviate from said direction,
you cannot hold him accountable for the consequences.
There you go.
Sorry, don't put that out there. Yeah. Don't say, well, God, why did you allow this to happen to me? He didn't.
It's called free will, dear. You didn't do what he asked you to do. Or for some of you, you never sought his counsel in the first place. You just did what you logically came up in your mind to decide to do.
Well, I didn't hear anything, so I just thought that the guy was like, go ahead. He ain't say nothing. He didn't tell you to go ahead.
He never said go ahead and do that.
So don't put it on him. Put it on yourself. But the reason I'll tell you why we're really delving into this is recently a friend of ours who is in her own ministry. I'm so proud of her. And we're going to get her on to the podcast one day soon.
Very soon.
Yes. Because she has her own gifting and girl be on it. Okay. And we've known her for over 10 years now. Mm-hmm. But she told us about this book and said, get ready to read it. And the book is by Ryan Lestrange, and it's called Hell's Toxic Trio. So I'm going to read the back cover for you so you'll know kind of what we're dealing with. It says, beneath the surface of your daily life, there is a conspiracy against you. Once again, a lot harsher word than haters
Yes.
or hatred. No, they're conspiring, conniving. I'm going to call the devil all kinds of dirty names because that's exactly what he is. Dumpster juice, as our friend would say it. He's dumpster juice, okay? That's exactly what he is. Yeah, devil, I said it because I don't like you. I'll never like you. Mm-hmm. Anyways, whether or not you realize it, spiritual forces are at work in every element of your life. However, some of these spirits have an agenda to cripple your faith and draw you away from God. The toxic trio of hell's most threatening conspirators consists of the Jezebel spirit, the Python spirit, and the religious spirit. With the Jezebel spirit, which ain't just because she wore short dresses or put on rouge or lipstick.
Well, rouge and lipstick is about the same. Yeah, or ain't wearing those stockings.
Put on them lashes.
Yes, wearing shoes with the toes out. You know.
Here's a news flash. A Jezebel spirit can be a male or a female.
Yes.
Thank you.
It most definitely can be both.
Male or female. And for y'all that's thinking that, oh, that must be them homosexuals in the church. That ain't what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Male or female. Period. Anyways, so with the Jezebel spirit, seduction is its game as it detracts, manipulates, and deceives. The Python spirit chokes the wind of God out of believers, while the religious spirit sows legalism and bondage into the hearts of God's people. These three spirits have the same goal: to reverse the progress of your spiritual growth and break your faith. Ryan Lestrange exposes how these spirits conspire to execute Satan's agenda on the earth. Hell's toxic trio equips you with the tools to rise above the Jezebel spirit, the Python spirit, and the religious spirit so you can live in victory. Now, here's the thing. I have just started reading this book. I've only gotten to the 3rd chapter. I am in love with it. I'm finally just now learning about Jezebel, the spiritual assassin. If you don't know who Ryan Lestrange is, if you've ever heard of John Eckhart, I have a couple of his books. That is who he is up under. And one of John Eckhart's books is Prayers That Root Demons. Go look for that as well. That's going to be actually my next one. But in here, first, he talks about the reality of the spiritual realm. He also talks about the different anointings that we have on our lives. And then he goes into the different spirits that he's talking about, specifically these 3. And one of the things that I have learned with the Jezebel spirit, just in the 1st chapter, because I think Jezebel has like 3 chapters just to herself, is realizing what it is. The reason I said what I said earlier is because I was under the impression when people said, oh, she has a Jezebel spirit about her, they were talking about what she was wearing and things like that. And that's not really what the Jezebel spirit is about. Jezebel's spirit is after leadership and their mantle. It wants to rule in the church. It wants to attack the leaders and bring it down. It's about seducing them. In all types of manner, not just sex or in looks. Finances can be a Jezebel spirit to promote them and really get them in good in their grasp before they attack their leadership and try to cut the head off of the church. Is really what I am learning what the Jezebel spirit is about. And if you read about Jezebel in the Bible, it was because of her and how she sought to attack the leaders and prophets at that time to the point where they had to go and hide in caves. And so there was no prophetic word going throughout the land at that time because they were in hiding from Jezebel. That's how much she wants to seek, kill, and destroy the leadership that is going on in our church. So I highly recommend it. T, what's your thoughts on it?
The book, it's awesome. I've read the first 2 chapters. I skimmed a few more, and you guys know I'm big on Kindle. This is a book I will definitely suggest getting a hard copy. I'm going to get my own hard copy. Because you want to be able to take notes in it. You want to be able to really highlight. Not that you can't highlight in Kindle and take notes, but it's something about being able to pick it up and go back to certain things. And it's a lot easier to try to do that in a hardcover than it is with a downloaded Kindle version.
Yes.
So I would definitely suggest picking up both books if you really are wanting to be serious about learning the things you can do to help advantage yourself. Because we already know the battle is already won in heaven. But here, we need help. And God has enlisted the assignment on his people to give us an advantage. So why not take it? I'm taking it. So I would definitely suggest that you get those and you just really start to be aware. And I know I don't want to come down hard on, I don't want to sound like I'm coming down hard on those that use logic often, because I'm a very logical person. I get stuck in my head for days thinking about things. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how God made me. There's a reason why he made me as such. But there are times where I feel him saying, I don't need you to think about this. I just need you to be in prayer and listen to what I have to say. And that's where we get lost as logical people. We don't know how to be quiet. We can. You cannot use the excuse of, oh, that don't work for me. That is a lie from the pit of hell. It does.
Yep.
It does 100%. You have the ability to silence your thoughts and your mind so that you are quiet, so that when the Holy Spirit gives you an unction on something, you know what to do. Because it's not always a big, huge burst gut feeling. It's not always this gigantic thrusting feeling that makes you jump out of your seat. It's not always like that. I explained to Kristal the thought that was given to me to explain it better. Those who have gotten tattoos, it is the repetitive puncture of the needle of a tattoo. Tattoos aren't painful. They're more so irritating because it's the constant repetitive puncture of the needle repetitively. So it's a constant tip that you'll feel that you need to start being aware about. And even if you're not sure if you're feeling that feeling, there's nothing wrong to go into prayer about that. God, is this you saying something to me, or am I tripping? And like our friend would say, sometimes it's God saying, no, you just need to go to bed. You're tired. No, that's not me. You sleepy. Go to bed. He will tell you.
Yes.
And there's sometimes where it's not, but you still need to be open and receptive to that, and stop always being so quick to be logical. I understand for us logical people, that is our go-to. It makes us feel comfortable. It makes us feel in control. It makes us feel like we know what's going on. We don't.
Yes.
Sorry. Stop always trying to apply logic to make yourself feel better, because that's why you're doing it. Or you like to step on a soapbox to let everybody know what you think.
True, that could happen. And here's something to pray for. Once again, I'm always going to say this: pray for the people that are supposed to be in your inner circle. That is what I have done, and what God has given me. I'm thankful God has always given me Tanisha. And there's a couple of other people in our circle, but if you know, well, if you don't, you wouldn't know. So here's the thing. To have someone to go to, because I'm super logical as well. I usually want to minimize things or be like, you're just thinking too much. You're being too analytical, because I know I can get stuck in my head. Having someone like Tanisha, and I know she'll say the same thing for me if she's not, or if she doesn't, she'll say it right now. But anyways, having someone like Tanisha who I know I can go to and say, okay, this is what I'm thinking, and I think I'm being illogical about it, or I think I'm being too logical about it, or maybe I think I'm being crazy. And her knowing who I am as a person first.
Yes.
She actually can be like, I know you. You would never tell yourself that. So it's something to be able to have someone that you really can confide in, that will pray with you and for you, and you each hold each other accountable for what God is telling you to do. Because then, honestly, it even makes the battle that much easier, because you feel like you're not even fighting it by yourself.
Yes.
It's like Jonathan and David.
Yeah. That's a good example.
And all, to where you kind of feel like I have someone that has my back.
Yes.
In all things, and not going to really judge me, because they know too that this battle is real. So pray for, if you don't have that person, pray for that person to be sent to you, if that person is supposed to be sent to you at this time. And if you do have that person, continue to encourage each other, because this battle is daily. One day you're good and you're like, oh, I'm good, and then the next day you can wake up and be like, why do I feel like this? Yesterday I was happy. Today I'm over here thinking all types of thoughts. It can happen just that quick.
That is a spirit as well. So you need to call someone that you know will be praying for you to get that thing off of you. And then you need to be praying for yourself to remove it, because you have the power to tell it to go.
And let me tell y'all something about this, because some people think, okay, if I got the power, I got to have all these churchy words.
No, ma'am, no, sir.
Yell, in the name of Jesus, you gotta go.
Here's the thing. You know one word that's powerful. Jesus alone, his name is powerful. So repeating that is right there. Yes. So no, you don't have to know all these extra theological words, and you don't have to have a what do they call it? When preachers are getting that little rasp.
Groan.
Yeah, thank you. You don't have to have a groan when you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to speak in tongues. Now, those of you that have the power and gifting to do so, I would definitely suggest you exercising that and practicing that and learning how to pray in tongues.
Yes.
Because that in itself is very powerful. Mm-hmm. That is a hidden prayer. The enemy really don't like those.
Nope.
Because he does not know what you're saying. And he doesn't know what to attack. Because he does not understand that language. So really, those of you who have that gifting, please seek some counsel, godly counsel somewhere, so that you can learn how to be able to pray in tongues. But definitely, if you're having those days where you don't understand why you feel so much pressure and heaviness, that is an attack, and you need to be letting someone know so they can be interceding for you.
Yes, absolutely. That's all I got for this time.
Yep.
Like I said, this is going to be something I know we're going to come back to. This is definitely something, maybe not Lady EJ, but I think we would actually bring our apostle in to talk to you more, because once again, that's our apostle who has a strong prophetic gifting, as well as he also has the gifting of speaking in tongues, and discernment, and he can definitely go into more depth about it than we can. This is something that both Tanisha and I, we've known, but right now we're actually finally starting to delve in, because we actually want to know who's the assassins after us.
Yes.
Okay? It's like in football after the game, when the coach come in and shows you the other team and all they plays, so you can go out there and know their weak spots. Yes. I want to know his weak spots.
Yes.
I want to know where to hit him where it hurts, because I know he's coming to attack and kill me. So before we go, I'm going to give you the name of those books again. The first one is Hell's Toxic Trio, by Ryan Lestrange. The second one, I actually gave you one book earlier, but I'm actually going to tell you the other one, because this is the one we're actually going to be reading, and it goes even more in depth, and that's Deliverance and Spiritual Warfare Manual by John Eckhart. You can get that on Kindle or Amazon. I got it on my Kindle. I probably will go get it in the paperback for that one. I do know I have the paperback version of Hell's Toxic Trio, and that thing is all marked up, and I'm only in the 3rd chapter. So there you go. Just be prepared to go, my God, these are things I knew. Some of it I didn't know. Some of it I thought, but I just brushed off. And I thank you for making it clear and plain and using one of your many servants to get this book out. because the enemy's not playing with us, and the way we operate here at She Laughs is we don't want you playing with the enemy. So we want everybody to have the tools to equip themselves.
Yes.
What else you got, T?
That's it.
Where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Facebook, Tanisha Williams. I have rebranded my salon, or my business, I should say. I am now mobile, traveling as a freelance stylist. So you guys can check me out on Instagram at Styles by Tanisha J, and Facebook at Styles by Tanisha J.
And as always, you can check me on Facebook at Charmaine Kirst, or you could go to my website, www.charmainesconfessions.com. Y'all, I am finally getting back to writing. Reading this book really made me realize how the enemy was keeping me from writing, and that's my assignment. So when you know your assignment, just FYI, there's no excuse not to do it. There you go. I know. I'm talking to myself. Just know. Be prepared. Got an article coming out. Anyways, and you can find me on Instagram at Charmaine Kirst as well. Until next time, tune in. Send us any questions you have. We love to hear from you. We pray you're blessed. And we're praying for you and your family and everything you're going through, because this life is not easy. Until next time.
See you guys.
See ya.